Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling a big one, a question I get all the time. How can I finally start speaking English confidently? I know it can feel like this huge, scary mountain to climb, but trust me, with the right approach, you'll be having conversations sooner than you think. Forget about memorizing endless grammar rules or getting every single word perfect. The real secret to speaking English is, well, speaking it. Sounds obvious, right? But so many of us get stuck in study mode and never actually open our mouths. So, in this video, I'm going to share a complete step-by-step roadmap that will take you from silent learner to confident speaker. We're going to break it down into practical, manageable habits that you can start using today. Ready? Let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about mindset. This is the foundation for everything. You have to give yourself permission to make mistakes. Seriously. Every single person who has ever learned a new language has made thousands of mistakes. It's not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you're trying, you're learning, and you're growing. Think of it like a video game. You don't beat the final boss on your first try. You learn the patterns, you mess up, you try again, and eventually you win. Speaking English is the same. So repeat after me. It's okay to make mistakes. Your goal isn't perfection, it's communication. As long as the other person understands your message, you've succeeded. So let go of that fear of judgment. Most native speakers are just happy and impressed that you're trying to speak their language. They're not sitting there with a red pen, grading your grammar. Be kind to yourself, celebrate the small wins, and embrace the journey. Okay, with our mindset in a good place, let's move on to the most crucial habit, creating an English immersion bubble. You don't need to move to an English-speaking country to do this. You can create your own English world right where you are. Start by changing the language on your phone, your computer, and your social media apps to English. This simple trick forces you to interact with English every single day in a natural, low-pressure way. You'll learn new vocabulary without even trying. Next, think about what you enjoy doing in your native language. Do you love watching movies? Start watching them in English. At first, use subtitles in your own language. Then switch to English subtitles. Eventually try watching with no subtitles at all. Do you listen to music? Create a playlist of English songs, look up the lyrics, sing along. It's a fantastic way to pick up natural phrasing and improve your pronunciation. The same goes for podcasts, YouTube videos, and news. Whatever you consume for fun, start consuming it in English. The goal is to make English a part of your daily life, not just a subject you study for an hour. Now for the active part. You have to produce the language. Listening and reading are great, but they are passive skills. To speak, you must speak. So, where do you start, especially if you're shy? Start with yourself. This might sound a bit strange, but talking to yourself in English is an incredibly powerful tool. It's zero pressure. You can do it anytime, anywhere. Describe what you're doing. I'm making a cup of coffee now. I'm adding some milk. You can narrate your day, plan your evening out loud, or even have a pretend conversation. Another amazing technique is called shadowing. Find a short audio clip of a native speaker, maybe from a movie or a podcast. Listen to a sentence, pause the audio, and repeat it, trying to copy the speaker's pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation exactly. It's like training your mouth muscles for a new sport. Do this for just 5 to 10 minutes a day, and you will see a massive improvement in your accent and fluency. It connects what you hear to what you say. Once you're comfortable talking to yourself, it's time to find a speaking partner. This is the step that really accelerates your progress. In today's world, it's easier than ever. There are tons of language exchange apps and websites where you can find native English speakers who want to learn your language. It's a win-win. You can spend half the time speaking English and the other half helping them with your native tongue. Don't worry about finding the perfect partner. Just find someone you can have a relaxed conversation with. You could also look for online English conversation clubs or even local groups in your city. If you can afford it, hiring an online tutor for 1 or 2 sessions a week can be a game changer. They can give you personalized feedback and create a structured plan for you. The key is consistency. Even a 15-minute conversation 3 times a week is far better than a 2-hour session once a month. Make it a regular part of your schedule, just like going to the gym. Let's talk about vocabulary. A common frustration is not having the right words when you need them. The mistake many learners make is trying to memorize long, random lists of words. This is inefficient. Instead, learn words in context. When you read an article or watch a video, don't just look up a new word. Look at the whole sentence it's in. Try to understand how it's used. Then, and this is the most important part, create your own sentence using that new word. Make the sentence personal and memorable. For example, if you learn the word exhausted, don't just write it down. Write something like, after working for 12 hours yesterday, I was completely exhausted. This creates a stronger connection in your brain. Also, focus on learning phrases and collocations, words that naturally go together rather than single words. For example, instead of just learning the word decision, your family, your job, your last vacation, your favorite movie, a funny thing that happened to you last week. You can even write down some bullet points for these stories. You're not memorizing a script, you're just giving yourself a safety net. This preparation builds confidence. When you know you have something ready to say, you'll be much more willing to jump into a conversation. And remember to ask questions. A good conversation is a two-way street. Show interest in the other person. What about you? How was your day? What do you think? This takes the pressure off you to talk all the time. Finally, let's address pronunciation. It's important for clear communication, but don't obsess over having a perfect native accent. The goal is clarity, not perfection. We already talked about shadowing, which is fantastic for this. Another great tool is your smartphone. Use the voice recorder app. Record yourself reading a paragraph or just talking about your day. Then listen back. Yes, it can be cringy at first, but it is so insightful. You'll hear mistakes and patterns that you weren't even aware of. You can also compare your recording to a native speaker's version. Pay attention to individual sounds that are difficult for you, like the TH sound or the difference between ship and sheep. There are countless YouTube videos that break down these specific sounds. Spend a little time focusing on your problem areas, but don't let it stop you from speaking. Clear communication is the goal, and your unique accent is part of who you are. So to wrap it all up, speaking English is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with consistent practice. Shift your mindset to embrace mistakes as part of learning. Create an immersion bubble by changing your digital environment to English and consuming English media. Start speaking by talking to yourself and using the shadowing technique. Find a language exchange partner or a tutor to have real conversations. Learn vocabulary and context and focus on phrases, not just single words. Prepare stories about yourself and your life to build conversational confidence. And finally, work on your pronunciation for clarity, not perfection, using recording and feedback. Don't wait until you feel ready, because that day might never come. The only way to get ready is to start. Start small, stay consistent, and be patient with yourself. You have everything you need to become a confident English speaker. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope these tips were helpful and that you feel more motivated to start your speaking journey. If you have any questions or want to share your own tips, please drop them in the comments below. I love reading them, and it helps our whole community. Don't forget to like this video if you found it useful, and subscribe for more content to help you master English. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that many of us use every single day without a second thought: the English language. But have you ever stopped to wonder, what exactly is English? Where did it come from? And how did it become the global powerhouse it is today? Stick around, because we're about to unravel the fascinating story of English. So let's start with the basics. English is a West Germanic language, which means it's part of the same family as German, Dutch, and Frisian. It first emerged in early medieval England, but the language spoken back then would be almost completely unrecognizable to us today. Imagine trying to read Beowulf in its original form. It's a real challenge. The story of English is really a story of invasions, migrations, and cultural exchange. It all began around the 5th century AD, when Germanic tribes, the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes crossed the North Sea and settled in Britain. They brought their languages with them, which mixed together to form what we now call Old English. This was the language of the Anglo-Saxons for about 700 years. It was a very different beast from modern English, with complex grammar, different word endings, and a vocabulary that was almost entirely Germanic. Then came a major turning point: the Norman conquest of 1066. William the Conqueror, from Normandy in France, invaded England and brought his language, Old Norman French, with him. For the next 300 years, French became the language of the ruling class, the government, and the law. English was seen as the language of the common people. But it didn't disappear. Instead, something amazing happened. The two languages began to merge. This fusion created what linguists call Middle English. Thousands of French words flooded into the English vocabulary, especially in areas like food, fashion, law, and art. Think about it. We have words like beef from the French, bœuf, for the meat, while the Anglo-Saxon word cow refers to the animal in the field. This dual vocabulary is a direct result of the Norman influence, and is one of the things that makes English so rich. The most famous writer from this period is Geoffrey Chaucer, and his Canterbury Tales give us a glimpse into this evolving language. The next big shift came with the Great Vowel Shift, a massive change in pronunciation that happened between the 14th and 18th centuries. This is one of the main reasons why English spelling is so notoriously tricky. The pronunciation of long vowels changed, but the spelling often stayed the same. For example, the word house used to be pronounced more like hoose. This shift marks the transition from Middle English to early modern English. And who is the superstar of early modern English? None other than William Shakespeare. He didn't just write in the language, he shaped it. Shakespeare is credited with inventing or popularizing over 1,700 words and phrases that we still use today, like eyeball, swagger, break the ice, and all that glitters is not gold. His works helped to standardize the language and spread its use. Around the same time, another powerful force was at play: the printing press. Introduced to England by William Caxton in 1476, the printing press made books cheaper and more accessible. This led to a huge increase in literacy and helped to standardize spelling and grammar, because printers in London chose one dialect, the East Midland dialect, which was spoken in London, Oxford, and Cambridge, and made it the standard for printed material. From the 17th century onwards, the story of English becomes a story of global expansion. The British Empire spread across the globe, taking the English language with it to North America, Australia, India, Africa, and beyond. In each new place, English absorbed words from local languages, creating unique regional dialects and vocabularies. This is why we have so many variations, like American English, Australian English, and Indian English, each with its own flavor. For example, American English gave us words like skunk and hickory from Native American languages, and cookie and boss from Dutch settlers. In the 20th and 21st centuries, the rise of the United States as a global superpower, combined with the explosion of technology, science, and popular culture like Hollywood movies and pop music, cemented English's status as a global lingua franca. A lingua franca is a common language used by speakers of different native languages to communicate. Today, it's estimated that over 1.5 billion people speak English, but only about 400 million of them are native speakers. That means the majority of English speakers in the world learned it as a second or third language. It's the official language of aviation, the internet, international business, and scientific research. When a scientist in Japan wants to share their research with a colleague in Brazil, they'll likely do it in English. So, what is the English language? It's not just a set of grammar rules and vocabulary. It's a living, breathing entity that has been shaped by centuries of history, migration, and cultural fusion. It's a Germanic language at its core, heavily influenced by French, Latin, and Greek, and enriched by words from hundreds of other languages from around the world. Its vocabulary is one of the largest of any language, giving speakers an incredible range of expression. It's a language of contradictions, simple in some ways, like its lack of grammatical gender, but incredibly complex in others, like its spelling and pronunciation. It's a language that belongs to everyone who speaks it, whether they're from London, Lagos, or Lima. It continues to evolve every day, with new words and phrases being added all the time. Think of words like selfie, binge watch, or ghosting. These didn't exist a couple of decades ago. The story of English is a testament to its incredible flexibility and adaptability. It has survived invasions, absorbed countless influences, and transformed itself time and time again. It's a messy, beautiful, and powerful tool for communication that connects people across the planet. So the next time you write an email, watch a movie, or just chat with a friend, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey this language has been on. Thanks so much for watching. What's your favorite thing about the English language? Or what's the most confusing part for you? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through linguistic history, Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. See you in the next one.